On the afternoon of November 24, 1971, a man purchased a one-way airline ticket at the Portland International Airport in Oregon. He gave his name as Dan Cooper. He paid cash. He boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 bound for Seattle, Washington. He was dressed in a dark suit, wore a black tie, and carried a briefcase. He appeared calm, polite, and entirely unremarkable. No one on that flight had any reason to suspect that what was about to unfold would become the only unsolved case of air piracy in American aviation history. Every detail in this documentary is sourced from official FBI investigation records, court documents, and verified historical archives. This is the full story of the man known as D.B. Cooper. Flight 305 departed Portland at approximately 2:50 in the afternoon on November 24, 1971. It was the day before Thanksgiving. The aircraft was a Boeing 727 carrying 36 passengers and 6 crew members. Shortly after takeoff, the man in seat 18C passed a note to a flight attendant named Florence Schaffner. According to Florence Schaffner, she initially assumed the note was a phone number and placed it in her pocket without reading it. The man leaned toward her and told her she should read it immediately. The note stated that he had a bomb in his briefcase. He instructed her to sit beside him. According to her account, she complied, and he opened the briefcase briefly to show her its contents. She later described seeing what appeared to be red cylinders, wires, and a battery. The man then communicated his demands. He requested $200,000 in cash to be delivered in $20 bills. He also requested 4 parachutes to primary and to reserve. He instructed that the money and parachutes be ready upon landing in Seattle. According to his instructions, the plane was to refuel in Seattle before taking off again. He stated that no one would be harmed as long as his demands were met. The flight crew communicated the situation to airline officials on the ground. The FBI was immediately notified. A decision was made to comply with the demands in order to protect the passengers and crew. The aircraft circled over Puget Sound for approximately 2 hours while authorities gathered the requested items. According to official records, the $200,000 was assembled using marked bills. The serial numbers of every note were recorded by the FBI before the money was handed over. 4 parachutes were also obtained and prepared. The aircraft landed at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport at approximately 5:45 in the evening. Ground crew delivered the money and the parachutes to the aircraft. According to accounts from crew members, the man remained composed throughout the entire process. He allowed all 36 passengers to leave the aircraft after the money and parachutes were delivered. He also released 2 of the 4 flight attendants. He instructed the remaining crew to prepare for takeoff. His stated destination was Mexico City. He specified that the aircraft must fly at a low altitude, no higher than 10,000 feet. He also demanded that the landing gear remain deployed and that the flaps be set at a specific angle. According to aviation experts, these instructions significantly reduced the speed of the aircraft. A course was plotted toward Reno, Nevada, the farthest the aircraft could travel toward Mexico City given its fuel limitations at that altitude. The aircraft departed Seattle at approximately 7:40 in the evening. 2 F-106 fighter jets were scrambled to follow the aircraft at a safe distance. According to the flight crew, sometime between 8 o'clock and 8:30 in the evening, a warning light in the cockpit indicated that the rear air stair of the aircraft had been activated. The crew attempted to communicate with the man, but received no response. When the aircraft landed in Reno, the rear of the plane was searched. The man was gone. 2 of the 4 parachutes were also gone. The $200,000 was gone. The man had parachuted from the rear air stair of the aircraft somewhere over the southwestern Washington state wilderness. According to the flight data, the jump most likely occurred somewhere between the cities of Ariel and Woodland in Washington state. The temperature outside the aircraft at that altitude was well below freezing. Rain and strong winds were reported in the area at the time. The terrain below was densely forested, mountainous, and extremely remote. According to survival experts who later analyzed the case, the conditions of the jump were extraordinarily dangerous. A large-scale search of the area was launched by the FBI in the days following the incident. Ground teams, aircraft, and eventually hundreds of volunteers searched the wilderness. No trace of the man was found. No parachute was recovered. No body was found. No camp or shelter was discovered. The money did not surface in circulation despite the FBI monitoring the serial numbers of every bill. In February 1980, a young boy named Brian Ingram discovered a small bundle of deteriorated banknotes along the bank of the Columbia River. According to FBI analysis, the bills were confirmed to be part of the D.B. Cooper ransom money. The discovery indicated that at least some of the money had been in or near the river for several years. However, the find raised as many questions as it answered. The remaining bills have never been found. No confirmed physical evidence of the man himself has ever been recovered. The FBI investigation into the D.B. Cooper case became one of the longest-running investigations in the history of the Bureau. According to official records, the case remained an active investigation for 45 years. In July 2016, the FBI announced that it was suspending active investigation of the case in order to redirect resources toward other priorities. The case was not closed, it was suspended. According to FBI statements, any credible new evidence would prompt a resumption of the investigation. Over the course of those 45 years, the FBI investigated more than 1,000 named suspects. Hundreds of individuals came forward over the decades claiming to be D.B. Cooper or claiming to know his identity. Each claim was evaluated. None were confirmed. According to investigators, the case presented unique challenges from the very beginning. The man had left almost no useful physical evidence on the aircraft. A clip-on tie and 2 of the 4 parachutes were the only items left behind. DNA analysis was later conducted on the tie. According to FBI reports, a partial DNA profile was obtained, but could not be matched to any known individual. The composite sketch, produced from descriptions given by the flight crew, was widely circulated. It depicted a man of average build, approximately 45 years old, with dark hair and olive skin. The sketch matched thousands of individuals and proved of limited investigative value. According to aviation and military experts consulted during the investigation, the man appeared to have some knowledge of aircraft and possibly of parachuting. His specific technical demands regarding the aircraft's speed and configuration suggested familiarity with aviation. However, no military or civilian parachute training records were ever matched to a confirmed suspect. In the decades since 1971, numerous theories have been proposed about the identity and fate of D.B. Cooper. One widely discussed theory holds that the man did not survive the jump. According to this theory, the combination of darkness, rain, freezing temperatures, and dense wilderness made survival extremely unlikely. Supporters of this view point to the absence of any confirmed sighting of the man after the jump as evidence that he perished. A second theory holds that the man was an experienced outdoorsman or military veteran who survived and successfully evaded the search. According to this theory, he may have lived out the remainder of his life under a false identity, never revealing what he had done. A third theory focuses on the bundle of deteriorated bills found in 1980. Some researchers have proposed that the money ended up in the river because Cooper landed in or near the water and did not survive. Others have suggested the bills were carried downstream from a burial site or a camp. According to forensic analysis conducted on the recovered bills, the deterioration pattern was consistent with years of exposure to the natural environment. None of these theories has been confirmed. The true identity of D.B. Cooper and his ultimate fate remain officially unknown. What is known is that on the night of November 24, 1971, a man stepped out of the rear of a commercial aircraft into the darkness over Washington state. He carried $200,000 and 2 parachutes, and he was never seen again. The D.B. Cooper case stands as one of the most enduring and fascinating unsolved mysteries in American history. It is a case that has inspired books, films, documentaries, and decades of amateur investigation. And it is a case that, despite the efforts of the FBI and hundreds of independent researchers, remains completely unresolved. Thank you for watching Darkfulest Cases. If you found this documentary informative, please consider subscribing. New cases are uploaded every week. In the comments below, what do you think happened to DB Cooper?